Welcome back, everybody. This is Pokemon Fun League, Week 6. Now, we skipped Week 5. We actually had a bye Week 5. And in Week 6, it's the rematch of the century. It was our first ever video. It was our first ever week. It was against Dave. And it was the scariest and the hardest battle that I took part in. And we have to go against each other again. Now, Dave's team is looking a little different. And Dave is also, his record now is 3-1. I'm the only person that has toppled Dave so far in the month or so that we've been playing Pokemon Fun League. So I'm nervous about this rematch. His team's a little bit better. He picked up Empoleon as I picked up Shaman, but we'll get into that a little bit. And he also picked up Vanillix, but I don't think he's going to bring Vanillix, so I don't know if that's a huge deal, but Dave's team's super threatening. He's got a Gengar, he's got a Mega Alakazam, he's got a Buzzwole, Clefable, Crocodile. It's like I'm being attacked from all angles. But here's what I'm bringing. I have Four-Legged Fire, the Heatran. I gave him the leftovers. I made him specially defensive with Toxic, Stealth Rock, Earth Power, and Magma Storm. Hopefully, Magma Storm will be able to catch the Clefable. It'll do a lot of damage to the Crocodile. Toxic, I can get it off on pretty much anything except for the Gengar, and it'll do decent damage. Rocks for utility and leftovers, so I can, keep chipping away. Let's say I have somebody caught in there with Magma Storm, then I can use the leftovers. I can get a little HP back as they're getting damage done on them, and that would definitely be a good thing. Next, this is something I'm really excited about. This is Placebo. This is my physical Manaphy, my physical Waterium Z Liquidation Manaphy. I've brought Special Manaphy the entire time, and that's obviously the better set that Manaphy can run. Tail Glow is ridiculous. He gets ice coverage with Ice Beam and Calm Mind and whatever, but I was like, you know what? Like, he's going to expect that. Because last time I brought Tail Glow Manaphy, and it kind of got shut down by the Clefable, like, entirely with Unaware. So this time, we're physical, and he's going to make that Clefable special. I know he's going to make that Clefable special. Exactly. So we use a Waterium Z Liquidation knockoff because it does a ton of damage to Gengar and a ton of damage to Mega Alakazam. U-turn for a little bit of utility, and then also I have Rain Dance on here just in case I actually want to up my speed a little bit, because with Manaphy with a +1 speed outspeeds everything except for the Mega Alakazam, which is definitely good to know. It outspeeds the Crook, outspeeds Scarf Crook, actually. And then also outspeeds Gengar, Arcanine, etc. Next, we have our Bird of Gray. This is Aerodactyl. It's a Mega Aerodactyl, and he has Aerial Ace, Stone Edge, Earthquake, and Hone Claws. Last time we brought Aquatail, but Aerodactyl didn't really get to do that much. It kind of got one-shot by a Stone Edge from Crocodile. This time, however, because I'm max invested in attack, I'm max invested in speed. I think I speed tie with Mega Alakazam by the time we're both Mega Evolved, which kind of stinks. I don't want to leave it up to chance. Hopefully we don't have him in against that Mega Alakazam. But Aerial Ace does like over half to the Crocodile anyway. With Hone Claws, hopefully I can catch him on a switch. Something he doesn't want to take a 100 base power Stone Edge. Maybe he's like, trying to go into Empoleon or something. I can just Hone Claws, and then +1 Earthquake can just destroy it. It can destroy Arcanine. It can destroy Alakazam, Gengar. Literally, nothing wants to take a +1 anything from this Aerodactyl. And Hone Claws is hopefully gonna claw our way to victory right there. You get what I'm saying. Next, we have George W. Bush, the Shaman. We traded in Delmise for Shaman. They were both worth 100 points. And I never brought Delmise, so I was like, you know what? I think a Grass Ghost typing is like, it's unique, it's spin blocks, but I'd rather have something that can, be a little more versatile and not get hit so hard with like a knockoff. Like, I wanted Delmise as a wall, but its typing just didn't warrant it being a wall. So we have Shaman. And this Shaman this week is bringing the Life Orb. With Seed Flare, Earth Power, Psychic, and Rest. I have Rest on there because of Natural Cure, because if I switch out and I rest beforehand, then the sleep goes away, which I think would be a great way to keep this thing like healthy and hitting hard and whatever, because nothing on his team wants to take a Seed Flare, and nothing even wants to take like an Earth Power, literally anything like that. Psychic is for coverage in case he brings the Buzzwole this time, because he didn't bring the Buzzwole last time. I might make that Air Slash. I think I'm gonna make it Air Slash actually, because Psychic doesn't. Psychic also hits the Gengar, but Earth Power also hits the Gengar too, and I'd rather have the potential to do more damage to the Buzzwole than anything else. Obviously, he's max invested in special attack, and he and the Manaphy, they have 196 plus because that outspeeds a non-choice Crocodile entirely. Non-choice Scarfed Crocodile. Yeah, so that's a Shaman. We have Charlotte. The last time we brought Charlotte was actually our first match against Dave, and she's holding the Focus Sash. She's got Volt Switch, Thunder Wave, Bug Buzz for a little coverage, and if we could predict, you know, like if he's gonna go into Crocodile and he's like, oh, we'll stop this Volt Switch, I'm gonna hit him with a Bug Buzz. It's gonna do a ton of damage. He's got the Focus Sash for you know, so we can make sure we get a Sticky Web up. We're going to lead probably with this Galvantula. Either we can Sticky Web or we can Thunder Wave anything that is there. Hopefully, you know, Alakazam or whoever doesn't substitute, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Either way, it's going to be nice keeping having this Galvantula. I think the Galvantula, with especially spreading this Thunder Wave status, can do a lot of damage to the team. And we are also bringing, finally, Drapion. Now, last time we brought Drapion, he had Pursuit, and I think that Dave's going to be a little more careful about that this time, so I decided to make him Assault Vest, and I gave him Poison Jab, Knockoff, Earthquake, and Fell Stinger. Now, this is one of those things that I don't think it'll actually work, but I would love to try. Just if he's trying to, you know, sack something off to this Drapion, I just go for Fell Stinger, and all of a sudden I'm at +3, and I have he has a huge problem on his hands. But yeah, I mean, Poison Jabs for the Clefable, because otherwise the Clefable pretty much entirely walls my team except for Heatran, and I think Clefable can actually kill Aerodactyl before I'm able to do enough damage to kill Clefable one-on-one, so unfortunate. And then Earthquake is for the Empoleon, it's for the Arcanine, Gengar, knockoffs for the Gengar too, but yeah, and that is the team. So let's just get right into the battle. I'm recording this the night before, so I'm super excited. Yeah, let's get in there. So, getting into the battle, I see that he brought pretty much everything I expected him to bring, except for the type Null. I thought it was going to be Gengar or Buzzwole, and I prepared for both of them. I didn't really prepare for type Null. I don't have any fighting type moves, and I'm like, alright, whatever. Like, I don't think type Null is going to really do that much anyway. He has a Crook. I'm like, okay, I think he's probably going to lead Crook, you know, because he's probably going to think I'm going to lead Galvantula to do Sticky Webs and whatever. So I do a little tricksiness, and I end up leading with Manaphy. And he does, in fact, lead with the Crocodile. And I'm like, great, this is perfect. I can either fire off a Water-type move, or I can just go for Knockoff, get rid of that Scarf if he stays in, or if he switches out, I can get rid of an Eviolite, or Leftovers, or literally anything. And he goes to Empoleon, I knock off an Aguav Berry, and I outspeed him, and I U-turn. And at that point, he should know I'm physical. Interestingly, he roars Shaman out, because I was going to hit him with an Earth Power. And he goes back into Manaphy. I'm like, alright, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to U-turn. Now I have the advantage again. I can just go for Earthquake, and he roars me out again. And it brings in my Galvantula. And I'm like, great, I can set up the Sticky Web now, because he's not going to want to stay in on like a Thunder or Thunderbolt. He doesn't know I only have Volt Switch. And I set up a Sticky Web. He brings in Type Null to take it. I Volt Switch into the Manaphy, and he hits me with like a return. It does like 32%. That's nothing crazy. Empoleon comes back out, and he actually gets... I try to go for the knockoff to get Type Null's Eviolite off of him. And Empoleon comes back out, and he gets like the Defiant boost, which I don't think he was an attacker anyway. But he's minus speed. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm going to pop the Z move because it's physical. It's a physical Z liquidation, and I think I can kill the Empoleon. It doesn't kill the Empoleon. Brings me down to 3%. And I'm like, alright, that's fine. He defogs away the Sticky Webs. And I'm like, a U-turn will kill Empoleon, or it can give me advantage in whoever I swap into, or whoever he swaps into. So he goes into Clefable to take the U-turn, and I go into Heatran. And I'm like, okay, well, he might think that I have Flash Cannon. I don't. I have Earth Power, and I have Magma Storm, I have Toxic, and I have Stealth Rocks. So I decide to set up the Stealth Rocks. He gets scared of probably the Flash Cannon, goes back out into Type Null, because that is probably his special wall or physical wall. I mean, Type Null is just bulky anyway. And I end up going for the Toxic. I stay in. I'm like, I don't think he has Earthquake. I think I'll be okay. I don't even know if he gets Earthquake. And he decides to rest up, which I thought was like really weird. Just because He only was at 86%, and maybe it was to get rid of the Toxic, but he didn't expect the Toxic, so I thought it was a strange play. So at this point, I'm like, okay, there's rocks up. His defogger can't come back out. He can't get rid of the rocks. I'm going to go back into Galvantula, and I'm going to put down the Sticky Web. And he stays in. He keeps rest talking. And I don't know if he's trying to get, like, rest talk return, whatever he used, but it's not a huge deal. So he realizes that's not going to work. Switches into Crocodile. I get the Sticky Web back up, and what does he do? Oh, nothing. He doesn't get a chance to do anything, because I Bug Buzz, I outspeed, he's not choiced. I decided to stay in because I was Focus Sash and I didn't take any damage, and I have Bug Buzz specifically for that Crocodile. And at that point, I'm like, alright, the biggest worry on his team is gone. Besides the Mega Alakazam, I have 2 types of hazards up. What can he realistically do to my team now? And I Volt Switch on the Clefable. He doesn't have anything that's going to outspeed my Mega Aerodactyl. And I go into Drapion because I'm like, okay, I want to get rid of this Clefable. This is the only thing that's really standing in my way of, like, sweeping his team. Empoleon's already on the way out. He sets up a Calm Mind. I don't know how really Unaware works. I guess it works that it counts his boosts, but not my boosts. I just decided to go straight up for the Poison Jab. I'm like, even if he stays in, he dies. If he switches out into Alakazam or Arcanine, like, it's going to hurt no matter what. Not a huge deal. He really relied on Type Null a lot in this match, which it didn't end up working out for him. I knocked off his Eviolite, and now Type Null is basically dead in the water. He's rest talking. Right now he does go for a Sleep Talk return, and he's just not outputting as much damage as he should. I clearly at this point have the advantage. I have rocks up, I have webs up. Nothing on his team is going to outspeed me, and at this point he wakes up. His sleep counter's over. I go into Mega Aerodactyl. I go into Bird of Gray, like Bird of Prey. He goes for rest again, and I decide to Hone Claws. I Mega, and then this turn I'm like, okay, he has at least 2 turns of sleep. Nothing on his team outspeeds me. I'm going to Hone Claws up, and Hone Claws was the last minute addition. I was going to run Iron Head, but I'm glad I ran Hone Claws because it boosts the accuracy of Stone Edge to over 100%. And with plus 1 attack too, is like, it's a crazy amount of damage. He ends up getting the Sleep Talk U-turn, and he U-turns into his Mega Alakazam. And Mega Aerodactyl has base 150 speed. I have max investment. He's got plus 1 attack. His Alakazam is slowed down by the webs. He didn't take any damage from the rocks though. That's a thing to notice, that he had yeah, I don't know why he didn't take damage from the rocks. Maybe I'm missing something. He had Magic Guard or something probably. And I'm able to just go for a Stone Edge, and I kill the Zam. And he waits for like literally 2 minutes, and then finally decides, like, I'll sack the Empoleon, which didn't really do anything. And down goes the Empoleon, and right at this point, I'm looking real pretty. I have 6 Pokemon. Nobody's dead. All of his Pokemon don't want to take a Stone Edge. He sends in Clefable, hoping that he can take it. I actually miss because of Unaware. He might have been able to live that if he was defensive, actually. I think it would have done like 44 damage. And this is his best bet, so I'm surprised he went into Clefable. He didn't go into Clefable first. He actually went into Mega Alakazam. I don't know why. But I Stone Edge. It does 60%. So he's not defensive. He's specially defensive. And he Moonblasts me. And I'm like, okay, well, is an Aerial Ace going to kill? And I was like, yeah, you know what? Like, whatever. Moonblast only did 40%. I'm going to go for another Stone Edge. And down goes the Clefable. And at this point, Aerodactyl has netted 2 kills, 2.5 if you want to count the Empoleon. And he goes into Arcanine, and it's just the same situation. Gets hit by the webs, gets hit by the rocks. Even if he's sashed, he's not going to live anything. Go for Stone Edge. It's over 100% accurate. Down goes Arcanine. And his only other Pokemon left is Type Null. And so he goes into Type Null. Webs. Rocks. He says in the chat, he goes, this hurt. GG. This was my rematch with Dave. The first battle I actually put out on the channel with the Drapion on the thumbnail. And it's the only other time I brought Drapion. It was really close. It was a 3-0, but it was a really close 3-0. And so I decided to Hone Claws up again, and I just go for the Stone Edge. And that is the battle. That was really good battle. I think what really threw him off at the very beginning was the physical Manaphy, which is exactly why I brought it. because I knew knockoff would do a lot of damage and cripple almost his entire team. And just having the ability, I constantly just had the advantage on him with U-turn and Volt Switch. And as soon as I saw my opportunity to sweep with Mega Aerodactyl, I was like, this type null is not going to do anything to me. He has return, he has U-turn. I'm going to take maybe 30%. I can get off a Hone Claws. He can't get rid of the hazards, and it's over. So yeah, great battle, a lot of fun. Right now we are 5-0 in the league. We're plus 20. So I'm in first place, which is something that I never would have thought that I would have gotten to, but it's super hype, and I'm very excited. This is week 6. We did miss week 5, but we will be back next week where we're taking on Mario. And Mario was the one who got swept by Komm0-OK in my week 2 battle. So we'll see. I still got to prep my team. I think he made like a couple trades, but I'm really excited for that. And yeah, if you guys want to see that, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and that'll be up next week. More content like this coming. It's been tough to get content out with school. I'm pretty busy, but at least I can do is all of these battles in the Pokemon Fun League for now. But definitely more content later. Thank you guys, and until next time.